Good morning, my historical misinformed brats. Welcome back to the channel where fashion gets fact-checked, delusions get corrected, and Thanksgiving myths get dragged by their outdated collars. Let's talk. Let's talk about the Pilgrims. Yes, those Pilgrims. The one textbooks love to paint like a monochrome Puritans, wearing black, white, and apparently an entire Home Depot's worth of. Spoiler, they did not dress like that at all. And honestly, the real wardrobe was kind of chic. So here's the thing, the whole Pilgrims only wore black and white with giant buckets aesthetic. Totally made up, totally Hollywood, totally fake. The truth, they wore color, real color, rich violets, deep blues, reds, green, literal jewel tones, basically everything modern minimalists pretend they're too sophisticated for. How do we know? Probate records. When they died, people calculated their clothing, including colors. That's how detailed this is. Mary Ring, who died in 1633, she owned a mingled-color waistcoat, 2 violet waistcoats, 3 blue aprons, a red petticoat, a violet petticoat, blue stocking, white stockings. This girl had range, and I'm talking range, no rover. Honestly, she dressed better than half the Pilgrims drawn in elementary school. Elder William Brewster, green pants, a red cap, a violet coat, a blue suit. Like, this man was fully saturated Renaissance peacock. Governor William Bradford sometimes wore a green violet cloak and a red waistcoat. They wore more color than some fashion influencers today, which is embarrassing for the influencers, not the Pilgrims. Let's talk about women, because their layering techniques, maybe we got it from them, just like they got the turkey from us. Honestly, ahead of their time. First layer, a linen shift, basically the ancestor of a nightgown, but ribbed, tied, and designed to survive actual labor. Off-white, breathable, practical, kind of like the original clean girl aesthetic, except it actually meant something then. Petticoats, plural, skirt volume, achieved. Fabric choices, usually wool, warm but still serving. The gown, 2 parts bodice and skirt, sometimes matching, sometimes contrasting. If you ever mixed a corset top with a different skirt, congratulations. You're doing 17th century something woman cosplay. Sleeves were sometimes detachable, yes, detachable. The girls were innovating, and a waistcoat and an apron, add a cloak, add lace collars and cuffs if you're feeling fancy. Hair, always pulled back, always covered with a coif or a hat. No middle parts, no coastal granddaughter curls. They were doing slick back buns centuries before TikTok. Now, the men. They were giving shape, structure, serious tailoring moment. A linen shirt with a collar, think of it as an original button down but with the Wall Street trauma. A doublet, close-fitting, padded shoulders, long sleeves, buttoned down to the front and tabs of the waist. Very if Renaissance armor and a blazer had a child. Modern designers would absolutely steal this silhouette and pretend it's groundbreaking. Add a cloak if you're important, cold, or dramatic. Add lace collar and the cuffs if you're feeling wealthy. Older or respected men wore full-length wool gowns. Imagine a couture robe moment, but in the forest. Very vogue. Bottom half, breeches or drawers, knee-length, baggy, buttoned. Stockings, held with garters, shoes or boots, leather, no buckles. They did not have metal factories sitting around making statement footwear, let's be serious. Pilgrim kids? Oh, they were in gender-neutral era. Unintentionally. Take that, Jonathan Anderson. Until age 8, boys and girls both wore gowns, long skirts, high necklines, long sleeves tied in the back, which honestly sounds comfy. At 8, boys moved into miniature menswear, girls moved into miniature women's wear, and that was that. Simple, functional, practical, like children's clothing should be. here's the academic, intellectual, slightly shady part. The black and white aesthetic was invented later to make the Pilgrims seem somber, religious, and boring than they actually were. Basically, history got rebranded. Black dye was expensive, white was impractical, gold buckles weren't even a thing. But someone in the 1800s said, let's make them sad and simple for textbook, and everyone just went with it. Tragic. So, this year when someone at dinner brings up pilgrims in those ugly cartoon costumes, please politely, academically, and confidently educate them. Tell them Mary Ring had more color in their wardrobe than most capsule wardrobe girlies on Instagram. Tell them Williams Brewster wore green pants before it was trendy. And tell them William Bradford was basically doing jewel tone editorial looks decades before editorial existed. And that's your Thanksgiving fashion lesson for the year, my beautiful brats. History is messy, fashion is messy, and the Pilgrims were surprisingly stylish. Make sure you subscribe before you leave, because around here we celebrate facts, fashion, and a little bit of attitude. Happy Thanksgiving, and try not to fight with your family too much. Save your energy. Fashion drama is much more rewarding. See you in the next video. Sincerely written in style, Mrs. October, aka the Princess of Fashion, aka the Face of Fashion, and aka the sole reason why there's an H in fashion.